we got some players that got some sauce. Everybody knows that you listen regularly that I'm a Diego Luna stan. So anytime that he kind of shows his quality, it always makes me wonder why Real Salt Lake doesn't play him more. But then I realize that Pablo Mastroianni, who I love and adore, coaches Salt Lake, and Diego Luna isn't just it. That's just not his type of player,
He's not the fight until the end kind of guy. He's a specialist, right? But you got to ride with him, Jimmy. And the reason that's a really great shout, because I did the Seattle Sounders San Jose game yesterday, and obviously Cade Cowell. Part of that was that Lucci having a belief in a young player like that who's not going to have a good game every game, right? And we're seeing the benefits of 3 years of somebody or a club consistently investing in him and his development. Consistent minutes. Maybe not always a starter, but always being top of mind to develop. And we're seeing that come to life now in terms of his next steps, right? He can go left, he can go right now, right? He used to only be able to drive inside. Now he's going left more. He's more decisive. He's making the game more predictable. His finishing is getting a little bit better. Obviously, still a ton of ways to go, but you're seeing that potential. And he's got an environment where that is developing versus a Luna, who is not getting better, but is proving at this stage that he's got something, but he can't just be a luxury player in a team at his age.
Yeah, there's a lot to go there. I'll go back to Cade Cowell. With regard to Cade Cowell, what I like about his game too, to your point, he's going left, he's going right, and he's making himself a little bit more unpredictable. When you're talking about decisiveness and playing with purpose, when I see Cade Cowell playing right now, and maybe we got to give credit to Lucci here. He's been fantastic with young players throughout his career. So no big surprise that we're seeing a little bit of a jump. Nico Chakiris is another one that plays for San Jose and San Jose, and for Lucci, excuse me. And he's making his decision to go forward quicker. You know how sometimes you get the ball, and then I just think he was doing that before. He'd get it like, oh, now I'll go. As opposed to like you're actually taking that first touch into the area that you want to go. And that purposeful play sets the tone for everybody else. When Cade gets it, he's looking to go forward. And when we talk about some of the world's best players that we've played against and we share those types of stories, that's all they're looking for. It's almost insulting for them to play backwards, right? So they're always looking to play forward. They're always trying to run forward. They're always trying to support the ball by being in a forward position. And I think we're seeing more of Cade Cowell in that way, which is obviously very exciting for full team, national team fans. But I've been excited with him. I think that we've created, and this is a bigger conversation, but because of the amount of players that we have playing and the amount of training that they're doing, I don't know if we always give them room to be themselves, right? They're being coached 95% of the time. And the only time they can be themselves is in a game. And in a game, the pressure's different. You have parents watching or you're at an academy and there's just like a lot. You just play safe. Diego Luna doesn't play safe. That guy's a risk taker. He's got that sauce. So how do we nurture somebody that has that and really build around him? Yeah. And I don't think we're comfortable doing that. And I think that's a shame because I think we miss out on a lot of talented players that could really help us take steps at the youth level. And then obviously as that mindset starts to trickle in to wherever they're playing moving forward. What's a shame, and we start to extrapolate this out to what MLS is doing, we don't recruit playmaking players here that are American. We go get them from South America or somewhere else. We have one here with Diego Luna, and he seems like he's being stifled at the club level to really blossom, but we see him at the U20s that he can do something. Is there a team out there that's willing to ride or die with his style and his ability? Now, he's got to start playing a little bit more both ways, but again, I played with Preki. Preki, I didn't want him to spend any, and I've talked about this before, any energy defending, right? We want him to spend all of his energy going forward. What do we do? He's an MLS MVP twice. I feel like we're getting away from that a little bit, and Diego Luna has shown that he can be some connective tissue, to your favorite phrase, and a little bit of the glue to bring in. So, yes, sometimes he does too much, but you don't want to handcuff him there. Like that's what makes the game and him special, is that he's trying stuff. Now you just got to get everybody on the same page to say, hey, Diego might be trying something here. Anyway, I think the team has been fantastic on both sides of the ball. Got Gaga Slanina making the saves that he has to make. And now we're going to have a tough game in the quarters. But we're the first or the only nation in the last 3 or 4 World Cups to get to the quarterfinals in 4 consecutive years, or tournaments. So very exciting. I think that Uruguay's up 1-0 on Gambia right now, and that's who we're going to play next.
Yeah, both teams had a red card. Obviously, Uruguay up a man from the 17th minute on, then giving up one right before halftime, or a man before halftime, scoring that goal up 1-0. Looks like that could end up, if it ends up 1-0, the U.S. will play Uruguay. A little bit weird because the U.S. is getting quite a big rest for this next game compared to Uruguay, who are only going to get 2 days rest before the game. We actually US haven't given up a goal yet. We have a soundbite from Gaga Slonina. So let's take a listen to this and react.
Find defending attractive, which a lot of teams, can be the less attractive side of the game. But I think that we really like to defend. We like to keep clean sheets, and then, hopefully we can keep that unity going and continue to hopefully get the 5th and the 6th and then the 7th. Yeah, I mean, I really like that. I haven't had much to do. I'll take a game like that any single day if we can keep a clean sheet. It just shows that the 10 guys in front of me are really putting in a shift to make sure that they're defending to the best of their ability and limiting the chances that the opposition gets.
Well, you have there, Jimmy. I mean, obviously, it has been so far in this tournament where he's got to make 1 or 2 saves a game to keep them into matches, and that's what it's going to be like if he ever gets his shot at a maybe not current Chelsea, but a historic Chelsea, right? A club that's made to be dominant, and the goalkeeper has to be able to stand on their head a couple teams to keep them when they're in a vulnerable spot. But again, the question is, have they really been tested yet, right? Was the group as hard as we thought? Ecuador, no. We saw Slovakia get absolutely battered in the round of 16, and it's just I'm just wondering where that or maybe it was the round of 16, and so I just wonder where we're going to find an opponent that's really going to challenge us. Could be in this round if it ends up being Gambia or Uruguay.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. This group has proven that, as I mentioned, can do well on both sides of the ball, and you will hear from Gaga there about how stout defensively. And it's not just without the ball. I mean, we have a lot of possession. We're dominating in a lot of the key metrics that we should be proud of, controlling the game. I think something that I focus on as a coach and as a player is like dictating the flow, when to speed it up, when to slow it down. And I think that we're seeing a good portion of that, which I think speaks to the maturity of our players, which then speaks to, it's a sign that our infrastructure, right, underneath a national team, underneath MLS, USL, whatever it is, it's getting better, right? And they're starting to become more savvy to the nuances and subtleties of the game. They're learning how to manage the game, which you and I both know is an art form. There are plenty of top teams around the world at all levels that don't know how to manage a game, and I feel like we've done a nice job of that. However, we haven't been tested yet. Uruguay will be a nice test for us, and if we can get into a semifinal, that would be the farthest we've gotten at this level, at the U20 level, since 1989. So it'd be a really, really big deal. It's fun to see England go out. Sucks to be you guys. Fun to see France not even get out of their group after they slapped us around in a friendly 2 months ago, 4-0. So you got to show up and play. Just because you have the French national team or English national team crest on your shirt doesn't mean people are going to lay down for you. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see. This is the big thing, right? As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you don't know what kind of team you have until you suffer. If we go down a goal, then we're going to find out what these guys are all about. As of right now, everything's been gravy. But until we start to suffer a little bit, then we're going to find out who we can probably count on and be excited about moving forward in this player pool.
Yeah, I think I do like the confidence of this team, though, the willingness to take chances, the combination of passes, the vision, the ideas, the diversity of playing styles within this group, too, that allows us to deploy a few different ways, which is surprising to me.